everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Gabriel, Visiontoon, Lamette. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in for this episode for today, because we're going to talk about the thing that most people, they feel like they've done, but they really and truly haven't done it, and it shows in little bitty ways, which is being able to forgive so you can live. During these times of us not being able to go out into the public and do all of the normal routines that we do, or go to places that we can just have fun and exhaust ourselves out to be able to get rid of all of our weekly stressors and things like that, we have not been able to do that, and we've had to honestly, really and truly, for most of us, stay in and stay home, which has made us start to stay in our heads and start to reflect and think on a lot of things that we're generally so busy in life that we have just kind of swept under the rug a little bit, and now those things have come from up under the rug and they're looking at us when we look in the mirror sometimes. And so what I know I started to do is start reflecting on those who actually have hurt me and done things that have really affected my life in ways that I really wish to a certain extent never have happened. Some of the things that have happened have actually been a benefit because I've learned and grown from those things. But there are times that I found myself, as I reflected, that I was going, man, I can't stand them. And I was starting to get emotions and angry and things like that. And that showed me that really and truly, in certain ways, I had not forgiven them enough to the point that I had actually released them and let them go. And that's what I would want to challenge all of us to do. I'm not saying that you have to start calling people, because Lord knows there are certain people that have done things to me that they'll never hear from me again. I'm entitled to that. That's fine. And I'm not saying that you need to call that person and say, hey, I've been thinking about you, let's make amends, etc. No, I'm not saying that at all. But me actually taking the time to mentally release them, praying and meditating, just letting all that stuff go, because during this time of quarantine and not being able to go out, I really am focused on trying to make sure that when I am able to get back to some type of normal style of life, I come out a lot more enlightened and better. And that's all I would want to see happen for you guys, especially when it comes down to like close family or even friends. One of the things that I've always tried to do, and sometimes I've been successful as well as not successful, because for a lot of us, sometimes if we get hurt by people, if we feel that they've been liars or they robbed us of something emotionally or physically, we can never really and truly sometimes get past it so easily, and we just hold on to that hurt and pain like, no, it's mine, I'm not letting it go. That does not help us. It weighs us down. Imagine walking around with 25-pound weight shackled to your ankles and your wrists. You're not going to actually be free. You can get around, but you will not be able to get around as freely. And that's why it's important to forgive those people. And that's why it's important to understand, if you forgive people and truly forgive them, then you can really begin to live. And that's what's going to be important. One thing that I have found to be kind of key within doing that, especially for close people who I say, I love them, but they have hurt me so bad, or they've gotten me so angry. One thing that I'm learning to do is just resolve people to be who they are. They're not going to be who I want them to be for me. They are not going to be able to fit into that box that Gabriel would want them to be, because guess what? They're their own individual. So if I resolve to go ahead and say that this is who you are, then if you are who I know you to be, then I'm not as offended. Also within that, I sit there and go, if you do surprise me and you do something different, then I can go, man, that was really good of you. I also do know that this is also who you are. So if you do revert back to being that same person, then I can deal with it, because I know this of you, and I'm not making you have the expectation of being who I want you to be. And then within that, what I have found at times when I've practiced that is, when a person has done this to me, then I'm not as offended, I'm not that upset, because I also know that's just the way you operate, but I love you anyway, and I'm going to love you where you are and for who you are. And that's where forgiveness can really thrive, especially within those valuable relationships that really and truly are meant to be. They're just different individuals. So I hope this really helps you. I hope that this gives you the mindset of taking the time to really reflect on those who you need to forgive, not just for them, but also for you. I'll see you guys next time, and you guys have a wonderful and forgiving day. Bye-bye.